Yeah, good evening. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Monday the 9th of September 2019. This is just a quick video tonight just to go over a potential setup that may interest some people. As you probably know, if you've ever followed me in my Facebook group or Telegram channel, I have made mention that I do listen to the podcast from a chap by the name of No Nonsense, or VP as they call him, No Nonsense Forex, and he does come up with a few ideas with regards to what he calls his algo, which is basically just a trading system. And one of those things he talks about is using a baseline, which basically means, from what I can gather, is you would look for something to get you take a trade with trend or with a direction. For example, you may say put a 200 EMA on your chart, and if price is below that, you only take sells. If price is below it, you only take buy. Something like that. That's just the basic gist of it. So I'm just going to go over something here on my chart, so I can remember which platform it was on. So here you can see this is a pound Swiss. Hang on, I'll just switch to a 4-hour chart. This is a 4-hour chart of the USD Japanese yen, alright? So basically, for most of you guys know my methods. Normally I'd have 3 MAs on the chart, and other than that, looks pretty much similar except for these green and red lines. Now all these are is the YTR ATR Stop, alright? So there's 2. So if I go into indicators here, I'll show you this. You'll see there's actually 2 of them on the chart. If you look to the left up the top in this box here, so there's 2 indicators, hence we got 4 lines. So I'll go through the settings in a minute just to show you where you can find these. This it's a part of some of the download packages of my books, but if it's not, then just come into the JAGfx Facebook group. Go to files on the left here, and in files, hopefully you'll find something if it comes up. Here we go. So this is a heap of resources that are free to everyone that's in the group, and come down to the MT4, MT5 custom indicators, click on that, and you'll see a list of indicators here. Here's the ones I put in, and there's other ones that have been generously upgraded by other people, other readers. So if you came here, you'll find Paperback ATR Stop, and that's what we're going to talk about. So that's in here. So if you click on that, it should bring up like a download looking sort of page. Here we go. I just download up here on the right. That's how I normally open this thing, and just save it to my desktop or something like that. So that's where it is. So it's the Paperback ATR Stop. Now I'll just go back to the chart, and we'll run through it and show you what the... So you want to see the settings. Now different time frames have different settings. I'll explain what I mean. Now I'll just close this. Basically this is the 4-hour chart, so I'm looking at a 4-hour chart, but this ATR Stop, both of these are for a weekly chart. So I've gone to a higher time frame type filter, and you've probably worked it out by now because we're all pretty smart in my group, that obviously I'm looking for buys when I've got 2 green lines below, like in this case, and I'm looking for sells only when I've got 2 red lines above price, like in this case here. When there is indecision, there's a good one, like in this area here, sideways market, no trading, just move on, wait for it to change back to either both red or both green. In this case it went back to both red, so we're taking sells only. And let's go through the setup. So nothing changes. This is still my QMP filter on the chart here, the red and green dots. This is still my MACD Platinum, which for those that are unfamiliar with, if you're part of my group, you've probably got a fair idea. It's my go-to indicator. So it's just a MACD Platinum. Inputs, it's 12.26.9, the default settings for any MACD. The biggie with this thing is 0 lag, true. If I change it to false, it'll just look like a standard MACD. If I set it to true, then that's what gives it its uniqueness, I guess you can call it. And there's all the colours and the levels, just be the 0 level, which is that line there, which is pretty important, which I'll go through in a second. So let's have a look at these ATRs. Like I said, there's two of them, so let's not get confused. We just get the indicators list. So the first one, remember this is the 4-hour chart. So length is 14, which is pretty common. Number of ATRs on one of them, I'm using 0.75. Don't worry too much about all these other settings. It's just lots of bells and whistles. I'm not even sure how to use half of them. You come down the bottom, multi-time frame. So you'll see 10080. That's how many minutes are in a week. So if I was using a daily, that'd be 1440. Weekly, as you can see, is that 10080. If I was using a month, that'd be 43200, so 43,200. But that's the important one. So that's for a week. And the only difference is this one here, number of ATRs. One of them is 0.75, so just remember that. And the other one, number of ATRs is 1. So it just gives me two, instead of using 3 MAs, this just gives me another option. It's a little bit easier to follow sometimes. Again, 10080, so it's the weekly one. You can see all the colours just in there, red and lime, I don't know what they all are. But yeah, so that's the, now, like I said, we're only taking, we'll look at this example here. So we've gone here, we've got green below and red on top. We're not taking any trades. There's no clear trend, even though there's some decent signals there. Another system may give you actual trades, but I'm just using this as an example. We're not going to take any trades here. So we come down here, in this area here, we get the two red ATR stop signals, so we're only looking for sells. So we're still using the high probability method. It's in my books, which most of you guys will know about. So we're still looking for valid signals on the QMP filter and where the MACD Platinum's position. So just because we get a red dot on the QMP filter doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a sell, because again I look at the position of the MACD Platinum in relation to the 0 level. The basics of my method is I look for sells when the MACD Platinum is above the 0 level, and I look for buys when it's below the 0 level. It's not always 100% like that, because I may have divergence and the MACD may be on the wrong side, but that's the only time I would take a trade. Generally, I'm looking for sells when the MACD is above 0 and buys when the MACD is below. So in this case, I'll just draw a vertical line here so I don't lose it. So that's the one I'm referring to, and I'll just, good. I'll just expand my chart a little bit. There we go. So I'll use the crosshairs. You can see that there's a red dot here on the QMP filter, clear as day. And remember, I wait till the close of candles. So the sell signal would be on the open of the candle following it. Nothing repaints here, so don't get stressed about that. But because the MACD Platinum's below the 0 level, it's not a valid sell signal. So then the MACD Platinum goes above the 0 level and we go above. And in the meantime, we've got a buy, but we're not taking it because we've got two red ATRs. But up here, we've had a pullback towards the ATRs. There's a red dot on the MACD Platinum. Then the next candle is a red QMP filtered dot. That's a valid sell signal, so you take that. Now, this one didn't go far before we got a buy signal. Got a couple options here. One, a conservative. Two, a high risk. The conservative one is you would have a hard stop somewhere above this high, preferably either between those two ATR lines or above it or something like that. Give the trades room to move. Adjust your position size to your risk based on the stop. Don't be put off by big stops. They do work and they can keep you in a trade better than trying to have like a 30 pip stop on a 4-hour chart. Don't waste your time. Get it in somewhere sensible. Everyone on the planet will probably have a stop in that area, but you'll probably find the dumb traders will have stops down super close. So don't fall for that. Give your trade room to move. So in this case, we would have taken that sell trade. We wouldn't have been stopped out, even though there's a new buy signal here, because again, price fell away and there was a second sell trade, which would have taken us, we would have gone the races with that one. Good result. The other option, if you didn't use a stop, like a lot of my trading, you see I sort of base on what I see on the MACD Platinum here. You might, two options here, two high risk, one's higher risk. I'll go with the more safer of the higher risks, if that makes sense. I would take a hedge buy on that buy signal. So I take a sell there, say I went for 0.1 lot, I'll take a sell there, I'll take a buy on the open of that candle at 0.1, same position size, so probably locking in a small loss. I can't lose any more other than swap fees or overnight interest. Then when this sell signal presented, I'll take a bigger position size. For me, that'd be 0.3 in this example. Put the info into my super duper spreadsheet, which is also in the files folder. So I think it's called Jackie's multi-trade spreadsheet, which is right here. Hang on a sec, I'll just fix this up. This is just a test one I've got. So you put in all your trades here and it gives you an overall break even, your position size. You can go across the right here, see all your sell trades and buy trades are. It just makes life a little bit easier. That's in the same place as in that files folder. So going back to our example, you take the sell there. I can guarantee you the overall break even for all three trades would be in this area here, and you can run it down. So that's one way. Another way, because you're in a downtrend, you may take the sell there, ignore the hedge and take a second sell there and add to it. And then you could also have a hard stop. So you can have a combination of things, up to you. Trade management is how risk averse you are, etc., and what you're comfortable with and what your broker allows. So anyway, moving on. So even if we took this sell trade here, and remember one of my sort of rules is once the MACD Platinum goes through the zero level or gets very close to the zero level, I'm looking to tighten things up. So in this case, it would have gone through the zero level approximately on that candle there. So we're in profit no matter how we're trading this. So I may say take half off the table and place a stop at overall break even or something like that. So that's one of my little early warning signals. So if you want to go all no nonsense or VP, your ATR is like your baseline. So that gives you a direction which to trade. My QMP filter and my MACD Platinum are my two confirmation indicators. So it's basically what any system should have. So he's not teaching us anything new there. And my exit or my, when I start looking at exiting trades is based on something like the MACD Platinum's through the zero level. We go down further, we get a blue dot on MACD Platinum below the zero level. Tighten up the stop even further, bring it down to at least point of entry, or even drop it down to previous highs. Then you get reversal signals, you might want to be out. But keep in mind also, if you're in this is based on a weekly chart, the ATR, or on a 4-hour chart, so you might just be happy to say you took a trade here, you took a hedge buy there, and you took a second sell there, you got to overall break even. You could have closed out that first sell, you could have closed out your hedge buy, reduced your position size on the second sell, then let it run, take a little bit of profit off the table somewhere down here. You could keep your stop up here, or just with the ATRs, because you know you're in a big downtrend. The ATRs are telling you it's a weekly downtrend. So in a 4-hour chart, you know, it keeps on plodding down. Even though we've got buy signals here, it still has potential to go down further. It doesn't in this case. It goes up into the ATRs, but you get the gist of it. So let's just look at some other examples, see if we can find some. So here's a nice sell trade signal, but I wouldn't take it based on that, because that is saying look for buys. So come over here to the right, here's your buy signal. And one thing I have noticed is the closer price comes back onto the ATRs, the better it seems to be. I'll see if I can show you. So in this case here, that buy took it here, you wouldn't get very far. The MACD platinum through the zero level. You know, you could have wrote a few pips. You know, you probably get a few pips there, 30 or 40 pips on the 4-hour chart. Let's see if I can find. So in here, no trading. In here, sells only, and this would have been a, you know, this is where you get stopped out. So if you're using a stop, you're stopped out for a loss. Then that buy, you could take a buy hedge, and if you wanted to go with another sell, but the algos are already switched over. The ATRs are already switched over to buy mode, so it might not be worth it. So it's not foolproof like any system. Trends do change, so that's one thing you got to be aware of. So look at all this. This is, look at to the right here. I'll just pick the chart at random here. So there's a buy signal there. You can see that clear as day. Ignore the sells. Buy. Now see this one. The price came down sort of close. It's more of a pullback, deeper pullback, so it gives you a better option. This one's here, didn't come back that far, still a valid buy signal, didn't really get much momentum. Again, this one didn't come back, both successful, but not as good as something like that. This one worked out well, didn't come back very well, but you can see, look, the MACD platinum's below the zero level, gives you 2 green ATRs, take the buys, don't worry about the sells. And I'm a counter trend trader, so I could trade them on other systems. So here's another buy here. It's not coming back close enough, but it's still a good signal. This one's not too bad, come back nicely. Obviously we can see what happens to the right there. Here's another buy here. These are not valid buy signals because the MACD platinum is above the zero level. So we can find some sells. Not a valid sell. Let's go across. There's a buy in there, didn't go far. There's a good buy there. See price come down. Get a few pips there. Not valid. Not too bad. So it's still a long way from the ATRs. So you just got to get a little bit tighter. Even though it worked out nicely, and again still in that buy trend. So sell. See this one here, a long way from the ATR. Not big good. Not valid because now we've got split sideways. Look at, here's a nice book. See that buy there, and generally the MACD platinum will show the depth too, how close it comes back. See here, we didn't come very close to the ATRs, nor did the MACD platinum go that far below the zero. Where in this case here, close to the ATRs, MACD platinum long way below the zero level. So that's a one. Like that one. Here we go, nice little run up here. Nothing there because in the wrong spot for the MACD platinum. This one's a bit shallow. This one's shallow also, but it's all valid signal still. Much better on this one. Got a little bit different in the MACD platinum, the signal. And finish off with one up there. Probably get a few pips out of that too. Always look for clues on ways to manage trades. See, here we go. Look at this buy here. So make a song buy. Look at that big run up here. There's buys everywhere here. There, probably maybe hedge if you want to take another buy, take another hedge, take another buy. You know, it all works out. So that's the 4 hour into the monthly. Now I'll switch over. I've got a pound Swiss franc here. This is the 1 hour chart, and I believe the ATRs are set on. Let's have a look. Pretty sure it's a daily. That's normally one go to. Yeah, so both ATRs are set on 1440. That's the only number it changes. Both of them still 0.75 ATR, and the other one 1.0 ATR. So nothing changes there, just the higher time frame. So again, same rules apply. It's now my platform's not responding, so just pause the video a sec till it does.